Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another impressive episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, he asks for a chief burrito because he loves the combination of chicken and beef. It takes two to make a thing go right. He is Rob Bass, and you are not. And the second quarter, we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. 3 continents down, 3 more to go. No cap, straight facts. The worldwide starboy, Remy Blue. But it's not about us. You see, we have we have 2 special guests tonight. That's right. Our guests are unique. And as a matter of fact, man, if I ever, have any advice, man, I'm gonna definitely go to them because they are definitely couples goals, marriage goals. They actually graduated from the Nightmare Factory Camp 2. That's right, the second camp, and they're kicking ass together all over the country. Everybody, welcome to the show, Karma Dean and Lewis Levels.
Woo! Hey, everybody.
How are y'all doing tonight?
Great. So good to be here. How you all doing?
We've been great, just, doing our thing here at Ringside Society. Giving people the spotlight to, tell their stories and whatnot, regardless of whether they make it to the big time or, they just, do this, every now and then, it's just all about, giving people a chance to tell their stories about their trials and tribulations and their triumphs in professional wrestling, how they got there, what they had to overcome, et cetera, et cetera. And we've just been doing that. I know it's been 3 years now. Yeah. Since we had both y'all on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. How's everything been for y'all?
It's been great. I mean, I've been out there as soon as camp ended. I went straight out into the independent circuit and I just started going crazy, getting bookings, doing my thing. And 3 years later, here I am, 1,000 Days Battleground Wrestling Women's Champion still. And also newly the Women's Tag Team Champion of Battleground Wrestling as well.
Oh, really? Wow. Who's your tag team partner?
Sarah Bubbles. We are known as Blonde Force Trauma. That is the name of our unit, our faction. So yeah, we debuted as a tag team in August. Yeah.
Rob, should I say anything or should I? I'm not. So we had a tag team on here the other day. You probably heard of them. That's also called BFT. And it's not Heather Reckless, Heather Monroe and Ray Lynn.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to start anything, but I mean, I would not mind seeing that if it's any consolation, there are 2 tag teams called the Main Event. And they actually know of each other. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool. It was bound to happen at some point, names getting crossed and whatnot.
Yeah. Or, hey, maybe y'all could become a stable. I mean, hey, you never know.
That'd be great.
Women's wrestling is lighting up right now, man. So
absolutely.
You never know. So, yeah. So, Lewis, man, I mean, okay. So, Karma, you did your thing with Battleground, kick butt, became the champion. Went over to AEW Dark, showed them what it is and what's up, with that Nightmare Factory training. Lewis, what have you been up to, man? I know you got some skills, man. I seen you in the ring, man.
Yeah, just here and there. Not as much as this one. This one's been killing it, over Florida, Georgia, West Virginia. She thinks she's Mick Foley now, guys. The problem is a little too crazy with the taking bumps on concrete. I have to step it up, so this year, hopefully, I get some big things coming. It's been, somebody got to make you guys do. I got to work regular jobs and, follow our dream. I know people think it's crazy, right? Be a wrestler, people think it's impossible, but I feel like the best thing we ever made is going to Nightmare Factory. One of the Cody Rhodes, Keith Marshall, the Ray Boy, everybody.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, like after we graduated school, like I was working a full-time job and then he started working full-time and it was like one of us had to be working full-time and the other wanted to go out and chase the dream. So he said to me, I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to work. You go out there and kill it and do everything that you want to do. And I'll catch up to you at some point. And that's exactly what happened. He basically the last 2 years sacrificed and worked his tail off so that I could go out. You know, we had an old car that wasn't working. I was renting cars to drive to these gigs. I was
not breaking down.
it was crazy. Yeah, like it's been a real it was a real struggle for a while, you know, and he pulled his weight for me, and I was going out there and just getting gig after gig after gig, driving all over Florida, driving all over Georgia, West Virginia, North Carolina, just to get work and to get my name out there and build my brand. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So we really
teamwork.
Yeah, we really together we did it. So
wow, that's awesome. You know, I've never done this on a broadcast of, you know, Ringside Society, but I'm a U.S. Navy vet, and I just got to say, Lewis, from one man to another man, I salute you for that, for actually doing, you know, for actually doing, you know, holding it down for your wife, in a world where, like, from my opinion, from my observation, where everybody is like too afraid to like hold it down. They're too afraid of being left without any, or too afraid to, you know, nobody wants to give without nobody wants to, some people want to take and not give and everything. I just got to say, I commend you for doing that, for telling your wife, hey, you know, go, you know, follow your dreams and whatnot. And I really hope that, you know, I want to see you out there, bro. Like, I know, but I want to see Lewis Levels. I want you to go. I hope to see this year. You go out there and show people, yo, there's levels to this, not to this. You know what I'm saying? And his name is Lewis.
I love
he's so talented, Remy. I gotta see him out there on the big. Yeah, he's so good.
I saw that little flip you did off that top rope. You think I ain't seen that, Mr. Levels?
Yeah.
I see you. I see you.
All right, I wanted to show them a little something with a little, you know, time that they give, because, like we said, you know, it's a huge thing, and that's it. You're right. I know. Just your confidence makes me want it. Now you lit the fire back on, because I know I need to achieve the talent. It's just like you said, life happens, the world hit with the whole things were just crazy, and it's gonna be a great year. I feel like 2024 for everybody, not just, you know, us, just everybody. Everything.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so
you gotta take it easy though, you know, because like I said, she thinks she's unbreakable. Like, this is, I respect the game so much that it's like people are, you know, wrestling's fake, this, that, like, yeah, whatever you say, guys. You know what I mean? Like, they don't understand the risk that people take in this industry. Like,
so true.
like that, your life changed forever. And, you know, I mean, we're not making millions of dollars. I don't see like this wrestler wrestling for $20 an hour.
Yeah.
You know? And you're putting your life in somebody else's hands. With respect to all that. Totally, women, men, everybody in the industry.
yeah, you know the thing that really, like, you know, part of my French pisses me off with wrestling fans these days. Well, not wrestling. Some of them, a lot of them. They pretty much have a good head on their shoulders. But it's when they say, "Oh, this person can't wrestle. This person did that, or they botched." And I'm like, I tell people, I told somebody, I'm like the KRS One when it comes to like enjoying wrestling. It's like, I don't know how far, if you all listen to hip hop back in the day, but remember if you said anything, this KRS One was like, he was really supportive of hip hop. He didn't like when people like disrespected it. I'm kind of like that. And I'm like, I look at these fans, I'm like, okay, where's your wrestling training? Oh, you trained for one day? Did you graduate? Oh, you didn't graduate. Okay, so have a seat, enjoy wrestling. Stop deconstructing wrestling.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
Yeah,
right.
so
And
tribalism, divided all.
Yeah.
Like these people are performing for you, for fans. Like,
Yeah.
life on the line, family, so
And it just burns my soul. But I think maybe it's because I'm an old school fan, because I started watching back in 1990. Rob knows. I'm not trying to put your business out there, but Rob knows where I'm coming from. Where when you had wrestling once on the weekend, maybe on a Sunday, if you didn't have the cool parents that bought the pay-per-views, well, guess what? You either heard about it from your friends that had the cool parents that bought the interviews, or you saw it on whatever stills the wrestling company had. And now you have it everywhere. And I'm like, why can't y'all just chill out? You're winning. What more do y'all want? Like, come on.
Wrestling on your phone. Like,
Yep.
It's a golden age of
There's
wrestling.
something to watch like literally every night now.
Yeah, like on TV, that's all we're doing here. It's not like it's wrestling is the only thing on TV. There's not news, there's not negative things like music concerts, like you said, and just wrestling.
Yep.
That's it. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like it just irks me, like, you know, when people actually like you know, do that, and it's just I don't know what it's gonna take, man, but yeah, I pretty much tell him, I'm the first to tell him, hey, look, you could say whatever you want about a wrestler's character, understandable. Sometimes I tell myself, hey, sometimes I even, tell myself, you know what, I could book some of this stuff. I could come up with a creative character. Oh, wait, Lewis Levels, I got something for you. I know what I could do with you. Comedy, I got something for you too. Diamond Sheik, shout out to my boy Diamond Sheik.
Yeah.
I got some, we actually did a shirt in his honor, actually. It was our I think it was called luxury lifestyle shirt. It was gold and
Okay.
diamond. It was gold and platinum with the our kind of like you see how our logo is gold and diamond, but with white flames around it and with the R and S in diamond. And I'm like,
Wow.
I could do some of this creative stuff, but when it comes to our wrestlers in ring ability, I shut up and I just watch, and that's what I think a lot of fans need to understand.
Yeah.
And that is, it's not even easy too. Like I have a good idea. I'm not gonna say I know, but I have a good idea of what y'all go through, and it is not easy. And that's why, you know, and I'm sure Rob is tired of hearing me say this, but our policy at Ringside Society is, we don't care. Like I said, we don't care if you make it to WWE or AEW or not. The fact that you go into that ring and put on a show for us is enough for us to say, hey, we want to talk to you. We had, I'm not going to call any names because I don't want to, people get, but but I'm just going to say this. This young lady was from Nightmare Factory. And she's like, why do y'all want to interview me? I only have one match. And then I made reference to a previous guest we had. And we were like, we had this one guest who was in the same boat as you. And he actually, his mother's a wrestler, and he wrestled his first match, and we interviewed him. So what's the difference between you and him? You take away his lineage, and he's pretty much the same thing as you. She was like, okay, let's do it. I feel better now. I'm like, awesome, let's make it happen. So that's why we start this, man, because we know it's not easy, and we don't have a big contract or a lucrative contract to offer y'all. But this is the most we could do, so. But speaking of what happens, what goes on and so on, putting your body and online, and your mental health online. Karma, I know you mentioned that you recently had an issue with back-to-back concussions.
Yes, I did.
And you had some issues with TBI. So you never mentioned it before, but you want us to talk about it.
Sure.
Per your permission, but yeah.
It's very, and that's part of going back to what you said before, it's very real. Every time we step in that ring, no matter how experienced you are, it doesn't matter. You could have been doing this for 30 years. You could be doing this for 3 months. Every time you step in the ring, you're taking a risk with your life. The most trained professionals, accidents can happen. And I've had a pretty good streak so far where, injuries were minimal, or like you banged up, you're a little sore and whatever, but you recover. But in August of this past year in 2023, I was wrestling at Battleground. I had a great opponent and an accident happened. Called for a move in the heat that I didn't hear because the crowd was really hot and there was no way I could hear what she said over them. And our heads collided, resulting in me having a black eye. When her head collided with my face, I back bumped and I immediately felt my face, and it was like a golf ball swelled up on my face. It was just this big and huge lump. And I jumped right up because I had no choice. I had to keep going because you can't stop, And I said, well, all right, my teeth are intact. My eye's still intact. Everything's good. I'm going to get up. I'm going to keep going. So I finished the match and, people saw the black eye and whatever, but what I didn't know is that I actually had a concussion from that strike to the face. I didn't realize till later on when I'd, spoken to the doctors and whatnot, that any strike to the face or head can result in a concussion, even if it's something like a black eye, any rattling of the head. So what I did notice after that match is, I wasn't pulling back as quickly as I normally do. Like after a match, I'd feel a little beat up. You take a couple of days and then you're back to good. But with this match, there was something off, and I couldn't even put my finger on it to say what symptoms I might have been feeling. I just felt off. exhausted, like mentally and physically exhausted. So I just chalked it up to being exhausted. That's it. 6 weeks later, I had another wrestling match. And another accident happened in the ring. Again, nobody's fault. It was an accident. But my head struck the mat and I blacked out for about 15 seconds. But when I say I blacked out, and you see on the footage, I popped right back up and I finished the match. And I took a German suplex for the finisher after receiving a concussion, spraining my neck and dislocating my C3. I got up and I finished the match. Pure adrenaline at that point. And when I took that German suplex at the end, I felt every bone and I heard every bone in my neck go like crack, 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 crack. So I rolled out of the mat. I was holding my neck and my husband texted me and he's like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I didn't know how. I'm like, "I think I broke my neck." Like, cause that's how it felt. And he was just like, he sent me that emoji where it was like, "What?" You know, and I was like, he's upset right now. He's really upset. It's like, he
As
gets
he
nervous he gets nervous every time I go out there and do this crazy stuff anyway. Cause let me backtrack for a second. When I was in training, I let fear cripple me in a lot of things. Cripple me with a lot of things. I wouldn't bump in training. My coaches will tell you it took me forever to finally bump. And then once I went out there and I started to get my feet wet and I started to have more matches, my confidence started to build. And I'm like, hey, this went well, that went well. I'm going to challenge myself, do this, do that. So I started pushing myself and it was always working in my favor. So I almost got a little too comfortable and thinking, hey, I can't get hurt. I'm good. I'll never get hurt. So when that happened, it kind of humbled the heck out of me because, so when I went for my pain management, they said to me, "You said you blacked out at the end of that match. You need to go for an MRI. Why?" "Well, because you might have a concussion and not know it." Sure enough, I went for the MRI and there was evidence that there were 2 concussions back to back. So I was immediately ordered to take time off from the ring, rest, recover, and just get well. And that's exactly what I did. And I'm back to good. I'm cleared. I feel great. And but now I know that you can't lose that sense of, hey, be smart, be careful, because anything can happen at any time. Don't get too cocky. It can happen to anybody. So I'm going public with it because I have not. And I feel like more people out there need to be aware that these things can happen. And you have to be self-aware. If you don't feel right, go get checked out. Don't wait for something worse to happen because then it could be too late. So.
Well, I just have to say, I'm glad that you're clear. Congratulations on getting cleared.
Thank you.
I'm glad to see. I'm not just saying this. I'm glad to say you're back. You're here with us. If anybody has not told you this before, I guess you're here the first time from Ringside. And if they've told you this several times, a million times, you're gonna hear it for the millionth and one time from us. But thank you for all the matches that you've given us, that you keep on giving us. We definitely appreciate you. And fans, y'all see what we just heard, right? This is why you have to chill, because it's not easy. Nobody can go in that ring. I wouldn't want to go in that ring. I'm good. I mean, Rob, he does the flips and everything and the moonsaults, If I've had people say, "Yeah, Remy, I want to wrestle you and Rob," and I'm like, if me and Rob were a tag team, my feet are staying on the ground. Rob is going to be the one doing all the crazy Jeff Hardy stuff. I'm good.
He takes all the
I'm
heat.
too old for that.
He takes all the heat. He takes the heat.
Yeah, so, but not to digress, those of y'all watching, this is why we say, you got to respect, you got to show, you can't judge the performance because it's not easy. And, like I said, I'm glad that you're okay. And, look forward to seeing y'all do many more, look forward to seeing many more great matches from y'all as well too. Hopefully we get to see y'all tag team one day.
I would love to do, putting it out there, would love to do an intergender tag team match. I think that would be great.
There's a lot. There's Neon Ninjas, Facade and Danny Moe. There's
I know her, yeah.
Rob, who's that couple that we had the other day? We didn't interview them as a couple yet, but the couple, they're from 1CW. One was in OVW. They were both in OVW.
Oh, Hollywood Haley?
Sam and Val.
Who?
Sam and Val. Samuel Thompson.
Yeah. And
okay,
Sam Thompson
and
and
Hollywood Haley and Dark Clouds. Yeah, okay.
And yeah, they're another couple. There's Remarkably Golden, which is Cassandra Golden and Ryan Rembrandt.
I
You
know
know,
who
yeah, I
Sanford
mean,
is. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Italian Brian. Yep.
yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing, I guess you call it what, principles, level of principle, or
Level of
that's
Yeah,
Max
something.
Karma or something.
yeah,
Karma level. I don't know. We're going to figure something out because
Yeah.
I don't need her getting hurt. So I'll take the beatings all day.
And it's like I feel I couldn't imagine I couldn't imagine what he was going through because it's like I was so wrapped up in me performing and going out there and having fun that I'm like, wow, like
First
this
I
is
thought
really
she was selling better than Dolph Ziggler got. I was like, oh damn, she's really selling.
and I was like, no, I think I broke my neck. I'm like, I was selling, but I was really hurting when that match was over. And and the funny thing is I'm so headstrong. I attribute that to me being half German. I have like really like headstrong genetics. Like the next day we were in Tampa for this particular match, and I'm like, yeah, let's go to Clearwater Beach the next day and let's go here. And meanwhile, I'm like, my whole neck is swollen. I'm in pain, and I'm just like, yeah, YOLO, gotta live. He's like, you got to take it easy. But I'm like, I'm so headstrong. I'm like, hey, I'm not dead. I'm not in the hospital. I'm all right. I keep going. But you got to, like you said,
Yeah.
the key word is you got to chill. You got to know when to back up and say, all right, I need a break.
But I guess the good thing too is that now these promotions will have these like safety precautions. I don't know if you guys saw on Raw a couple weeks ago when somebody got kicked like from coffee, concussion, whatever. They stopped the match.
Oh yeah.
Imperium's guy, yeah.
Giovanni Vinci.
That's it, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I love seeing stuff like that. It's like, guys, like our safety should be number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at Big E. Big E's been out for like a year and a half now. Big E from the New Day, and he hasn't, he may or may not come back. I mean, it's a tough business, man. It's definitely a tough business.
So when you wrestle, hurt or injured or not, vice versa.
Right. And another wrestler, I don't know if it was from AWWD, said recently, like, you're never 100%. Like, if you're a real true performer, you're never 100% when you step in there. You know what I mean? Like, you're
Right.
always recovering from that last match. And especially if you're doing it weekly or multiple times a week like they do. And I just, it's, and the traveling is exhausting too. So yeah, the traveling, I love it. I enjoy it, but there is nothing more exhausting than travel day when you're going for a gig. It really is exhausting. So
I could imagine, especially some people do it by car too. I met one wrestler. I think her name was Rachel Armstrong. I went to CCW in the last show they had before they went under. CCW in Jersey, and I met this woman by the name of Rachel Armstrong, and she told me that she drove all the way from Indiana to there. I'm like, what? I'm like, and then she told me she's gonna drive back. I'm like, sheesh, man, it's tough.
right. Yep.
It is tough. So y'all talk. So speaking of wrestling, y'all actually told me that you were going to you attended AEW yesterday. So what was it like? I know y'all graduated in the same class as the current TBS champion Julia Hart. What was it like going back there, being in that atmosphere, meeting up with old friends, seeing them do their thing in the ring?
Yeah, I love it.
It really is truly homecoming, like how they said it was homecoming last night. The energy in the place was just
amazing.
Tony Khan amped up. This guy's amped up.
Max, he was amped.
Hyped to be home, and it's just like, thanks, man. Thanks for this alternative. Like, thank you. And the people, like you said, it's just even Julia from her, like you said, 3 years since we did your thing. So technically, this guy graduated yesterday.
Yeah.
See her where she is.
I'm so happy for her because she was like the leader of the 4 girls in our group, in our camp, and she really helped all of us like build our confidence. Like she was really a ringleader for us and an inspiration. So to see her out there doing her thing and to be the champion is like it's amazing. I'm so honored that I graduated camp with her, and how many times I wrestled her in camp, and how much we worked together. And she was always good to me. So I'm just happy.
And you abstain, obviously his last match is coming
March something, yeah.
Just crazy, but it's cold, guys. It's a little cold last night.
It was chilly in Florida last night.
Back in New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
speaking of that, Remy, I saw you. What was that? Milkshake place? What was that? New York or something? With the crazy milkshakes or something, like a cookie milkshake or ice cream milkshake.
Where was that? I'm a bit of, okay, you caught me. I'm a bit of a foodie, so I tend to go to these one-off places sometimes when
we are.
like I see them on Instagram. I'm like, oh snap, let me go there. Wait, are you talking about wait, was that in California?
I don't know, but it was like a milkshake with an ice cream cone in it. Like it looked so good. Like some of it was like some crazy.
That may have been the tips. That may have been the tipsy bartender. That's the ice cream and alcohol mixed together. Yeah, yeah, that's that made that. Yeah, that's the only one. Or maybe it was the Ghirardelli store in San Diego, which I was at. But yeah, it one of those. I think it may have been a tipsy bartender. But I'd recommend it though. They're pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, but hey, you know what? Maybe one day, Karma, will definitely see you face Julia Hart, for that title, or maybe we'll see you go after.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'll see you go after Angelica for that ladies' night out title. You never know.
Yeah. I have such a great rapport with all them. It would just be so good to be in the ring with them again. And I always say I want so bad to my tag team partner and I from Nightmare Factory, because Julia and Helica took the pin. So I would love to come out and say, the house always wins, not always. Roll the tape. We have like a little feud. Yeah, Hyena Hera. Yeah.
Oh, that would be good.
That would be great. Yeah, if we could have just obviously putting Julia over, of course.
And then you
have a little feud. It would be great.
And then your first name is Karma. Karma has come back to get you.
That's right.
Wow. That's awesome.
I would love to pitch that to somebody over there at AEW.
Hey, do it. You never know.
Yep.
Like I said, and Lewis, I'm telling you, man, levels. There's levels to this. You could definitely go with that. I'm serious.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. It's coming now. Like I said, back to the real world, 2024.
You got this. Yep.
Yeah. So I got husband and wife, man. So what are some pros and cons y'all have because y'all are like our first ever married couple on. We've had couples before. One couple before. Rob, was it one couple? I'm getting old, Rob. Was it one couple or it was just Sam and Val, right?
Yeah, it was like one or two. It was a few. They weren't married.
Yeah. But you, the two of you are actually our first official like married couple ever we had on the show. What are some pros and cons of like being in the business like as a married couple that y'all have had to like deal with and so on? If you don't mind me asking.
No, of course. No, Lewis has always been, he's a perfectionist and he's very hard on himself. And in turn, he's very hard on me, and not in a demeaning way. Like he's always has my best interest at heart, and he wants to see me succeed. So I always used to tell him when he would criticize me, well, you could say that a little bit better. You know what I mean? But then I came to realize like, he's just like, he's pushing me because he wants me to be better. So we had like, once we worked through that, it was like, now when he tells me something, I know it's to help me. And then I'm like, if I got it out of my ego and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I could have done this better or done that better or whatever. And I realized that he's actually on my team and not against me. That was something I struggled with for a while because I've always had a hard time accepting criticism and having people, and that dates back to like childhood trauma and all that nonsense. But it's like, I always had a hard time accepting criticism. It was always like a personal attack, and now as I'm getting a little bit older and starting to evolve mind-wise and realize, hey, that's not always the case. People really do want to help you. And there are people that are in your corner and actually want to see you succeed. So don't always take it as, oh, they're trying to knock you down. No, there are people out there that are trying to do that, but they're not in my universe, but my husband has always had my back. And, I push him as much as he pushes me. I'm been fitness guru for forever, for decades. And I've pushed him with fitness.
Oh yeah, sorry guys. I used to think like Arizona green tea would help me and 20 chicken nuggets from McDonald's. That was my everyday, all day, like the Jordos.
Yeah. So I'm critical of him with fitness. I push him and he pushes me in the ring because this is something he's been watching since he was a kid. For me, when people say, oh, when did you realize you wanted to be a wrestler? And I'll never tell people, hey, it was my childhood dream. Because as a child, I just knew I wanted to be a performer. I didn't know. I loved wrestling. I loved it. I appreciated it. I watched it. I enjoyed watching it. But I never thought in my mind, hey, I could do that one day. I was always a fitness person and I was always an actress. I'm a New York City-based actress for years. So I just basically put the two together and Karma Dean was born. And I said, you know what? I finally figured it out. All these years of fitness and and theater training, not realizing where it all was going to go. I became a wrestler from those two passions I had in life. They merged together. So,
and I didn't think it was ever going to happen. And that one we had the hot box stuff. So in New York, there was a box where you had like all the channels, so we could watch everything for free. So that's the only thing I had. I guess, like, I don't know about to say that. But it became for me, like you said, friend. Like I was recording them, and I was the guy that was giving the tape to my friend. He couldn't see it. I had it recorded on VHS. Like, hey man, you missed the Royal Rumble. Here you go. It was crazy. WrestleMania. Here you go. So it's always
that's
crazy. I never would have thought it was could happen, but then I like saying art, which is like anything's possible. Like you saying that, like working at McDonald's. Like anything's possible for anybody. Like it sounds corny, but like just believe. Like you said, stop with the negative hate and Twitter. Like just be happy, man. Enjoy wrestling.
yeah,
Yeah.
I've come a long way since I started. So,
And Karma, trust me, you're not the first person I talked to that said they didn't watch it when they were they didn't watch it when they were like, or they didn't grow up saying they were going to be a wrestler. They just want to be you weren't the first person that okay. How do I put it? So I've actually like talked to people that said they didn't get into it until later on in life. One such example, Renee Michelle. I'm sure y'all have seen her.
good friend
Renee
of mine,
Michelle.
yeah.
Yeah, Renee Michelle told me she just happened to go to a wrestling event 10 years ago, and a guy saw her. I think probably the promoter saw her and said, "You would make a good wrestler. You have to look to be a wrestler. You should try it out." And she has traveled the world as a result of that. Another such name, this name is probably a more popular name. I don't know if y'all can remember her. Taryn Terrell was in college, and she actually a friend invited her to see a wrestling show, and she was like, "Wow, this is cool. I like this. I want to do this." Lo and behold, she gets into the Diva search, and she ends up getting signed WWE for several years. So, I mean, I always tell you, it doesn't matter where you start. It's normally, it's where you end. It's what you make of it. So, that's nothing new. Trust me, I've seen people that have actually like said they started watching late and so on. I'm 40 years old. I went to my first WrestleMania when I was 29. Yeah, would you imagine that? I've been watching since 1990. I know I'm putting my age out there. I was 6 going on 7. Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan, and now how many years later? 29. I went to my first wrestling show, and I was reading about the indies all when I was like 13, 14. I didn't go to my first indie show until I was 29. So it is what it is.
Sure.
Never too late.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and turn over to Rob. I know Rob has a couple questions for y'all. Rob, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Remy. So what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing today?
Good. How are you, Rob?
Well, just hanging out, chatting with y'all. It's a blast of the night. So I'm doing well.
Good.
So I got to ask, Karma. Yeah, when you were talking about your the concussion stuff going on autopilot. I wanted to ask, how scary was that? Like looking back on that, like you watch it back, you don't remember it or whatever. It's like, I really did that. You know what I mean? Like, was that real? How scary was that?
It was scary that I didn't remember like the end of the match. Like when people said, when did it happen? I'd say, gee, I don't know. Like I could tell you when I think it happened in the match. Like there was like 3 bumps in a row I took, and I'm like, it had to be one of them, because it was like, I think there was maybe a minute left to the match, not even, maybe like 30 seconds left to the match. And I just plowed through it. And it wasn't until I got the footage and watched it back and I went, oh, there it is, like 5:31, like hit the point. That's where it was. That's where I got rocked. And it was scary because when it initially happened, the pain that I was feeling, I couldn't, everything was swollen, my neck, my upper back. I had trouble swallowing water. So right away I get on Google, and I'm like, what does this mean? And it said that trouble swallowing water is in line with a neck injury. So I knew right off the bat, I'm like, well, it's a neck injury. Is it broken? Is it sprained? What is it? I couldn't turn my neck to the left or right, up or down. They were packing me with ice in the back behind the curtain. And I was trying to, I guess, make light of it. I don't know if I was embarrassed or I just didn't really want to deal with it at the moment. Everyone was like, you okay? You okay? And all I kept thinking is, he's going to kill me because I just got hurt. I just got hurt.
Monsters, not that.
He's going to be so mad. He's like, you're out there, you're doing all this crazy stuff. So
Sometimes this one's wrestling in places that have like garden hoses and ropes, guys. Like, you know what I mean? I understand. You got to dues and you got to get the reps, but at some point it's got to be like, come on, company, like you're a draw. People start thinking like she works every morning. She's doing massive cardio 5, 6 a.m. She's on the bike.
I do yoga for an hour every day. I'm all about it.
Yeah, like she's on. Like you talk about levels, there's like a karma level when it comes to that stuff. But what am I gonna do, Rob? I can't be like, can't be like sometimes.
Yeah, I was definitely. It was scary. Oh, the pity's here. This is my dog. She's climbing up on me. Hi, sweetie. But yeah, it was definitely scary. And I think the scariest part of it was A, not knowing whether my neck was broken or not, and B, the fact that, I didn't know when it happened, and the fact that I had blacked out. And I think part of me was in denial too, because when that nurse practitioner said, you need to go get checked out, it was like reality hit. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should, like I think I had been putting it off, and that was not a good thing. But I kept thinking, yeah, well, if I feel all right and I'm not hurting and, I'm getting better, I should be okay. Had I not gotten checked, I would have gone out and wrestled again. And if I had struck my head again, we don't even know. That they even said, you can be done, literally. So glad that I listened to the nurse. I'm glad I got my checkup, and I'm glad that everything was okay. So
that's right. Oh, man, look at the cat. Yeah. It's trying to get in there. Or no, it's the hound. Look at the hound. Yeah.
That's
I thought it was the cat at first. My bad.
That's the boss lady.
She is. Yeah.
Oh, don't feel bad. I have a dog. I have 3 beagles, and one's Lucy. And everybody thinks it's short for Lucille, but I'm like, no, it's Lucifer, because she's the boss. She's the youngest, and she runs the house. You know what I mean? Anything goes on, the other dogs are fighting or whatever. She got to run over there. What's going on? What's going on? She got to break it up. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's I was kind of happy with, last night. He's like, well, we're going to be out all night at 8W, but then it's like, we have to get home for the dog. And I'm like, yeah, it's too cold out here, so.
That's right. I don't blame you on that. Yeah.
Well, you're in Delaware, right? So you're probably freezing up. Are you still in Delaware up there?
Oh, yeah. We're freezing. It's supposed to snow, I think, next Tuesday. I think Remy might get the snow, too, also. I mean, it's supposed to snow like 1 to 3 inches. I'm like,
don't remind me.
The low was 19. I was like, oh.
Come to Florida, man. Florida.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's I'm proud. I'm so proud of her, but it's like we gotta take it easy. Like I said, she's not Mick Foley. We don't need to see Mick Foley needs help putting his socks on every day. Like, look at how much he gave to this business. Like I said, for all of our enjoyment. And I don't want to see her like that.
I became the same way, like when I became the champion of West Virginia, and I started out, I was a heel there. And they hated me. I mean, they were trying to jump the guardrail, when I would go there, because I would just rip on them with my promos, because that's my strong point. And I would just go after these people like you wouldn't believe. And then the promoter said to me, he goes, you know what's starting to happen? You're starting to go over as a heel. They're starting to cheer for you as a heel. It was like the energy started turning. So at some point we were going to tease me turning face, but it was, we were going to tease it and let it go on for a couple of months before it actually happened. Well, I had this one match. It was my last match wrestling as a heel there. And they booed the hell out of the face coming out. And they cheered the heck out of me. And they all got a little confused at the end of the match because we were trying to tease it. I, extended my hand to her and gave her a big hug and held her hand up. And they were like, well, okay, what's going on? Like, is Karma a good girl? Is she a bad girl? Like, what's happening here? So I was part of a faction called the JPWO, which is a heel faction. I was one of their female leaders. So at some point that night, the promoter's like, you know what? He's like, the heck with it. Let's turn you totally face tonight. He's like, I want you to go out there. He says, just, look like you don't know which side you're going to go on. Cause it was one of those big matches where all the faces were on one side and the heels were on the other, cheering on the people in the ring. And he goes, when Jeff, the leader of the faction, comes out, I want you to just grab the mic and turn on him and just slap him and then jump on the good side. And that's it. That's when I turned face. But it was like, that's when I started to become more confident, because these people, like, they look at me like I'm a superhero there. I'm literally like, to these young girls that are there, I'm their role model. And that makes me feel really good. So when I go there and I put on a performance, even if I get a little banged up and knocked up, like, I say it was worth it. To see the smiles on those young girls' faces and hear the cheers, it's a feeling I can't describe. It's amazing. So I think that's part of where my confidence came. I'm like, I'm invincible. I was telling him the last I was there, like, I did a swanton. He goes,
Whew.
What?
There's no reason for her to be doing that.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh man, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, doing swanton, all that good stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Though.
I should not be doing swan dives. No.
I mean, did you get all the way on the top rope? Did you do it, or you get a middle rope one? Yeah.
I went to the top, yeah, and I was like, it wasn't a Jeff Hardy one, but it was more of like a half Jeff Hardy one, but I did it, and I'm like, my goal this year is to get to go all the way to the top rope and do a
So
crossbody.
now I think your next match is like an ambulance match or something. I don't know.
Oh no.
Yes.
You're not gonna see me getting light bulbs smashed over my head or making all coffee.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well,
it didn't happen.
I'll tell you quick, Rob. This is how the ambulance match idea came. I love street fight matches. I love all that crazy stuff. That's my thing. I love those hardcore matches. So I fell in love with them, and I said to the promoter, "Hey, I got a great idea for the next match." And he goes, "Your ideas usually mean I have to up my liability insurance. Let's hear it. What is it?" You know, so I'm like, "An ambulance match," and he goes, "Let's do it. I think that'd be great." So I had a casket match there, and we kind of set history with that. So I said, let's take it a step further and do an ambulance match. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait, because to me, I just love that type of a match.
And QT killed it in Mexico. I think he had some crazy match a couple months ago.
Yep.
Yeah, this Saturday I know for the women 1CW Women's Championship I'm going to be there. I don't know if I'm repping or I'm probably doing a hard cam or whatever. But yeah, we got a street fight. They're going to do it in the street fight or whatever out there in House in Delaware. I'm like, all right, it's Adriana and Tatiana. I'm just like, all right, I don't know what they're going to do, but yeah, it's a street fight. I'm kind of excited to see that, because I don't think the Women's Championship has been defended like that yet in 1CW. So
Right.
yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. I'm pretty excited for that.
That's the thing. Like when I had my street fight match in West Virginia against Harley Fairfax, who was one of my favorite people I've ever worked with. She's fantastic. Her character's like a Viking gimmick. We had that street, and I bled in that match, and people thought I broke my nose. It was the blood all over the face and everything. I took a hit with the garbage can, and people were like, it was like a respect. I don't even know how to describe it. Like they were like, wow, she bled for us. Like it was weird. Like that's when it all started to turn, and they started to cheer for me as a heel. So from that point forward, it was like no matter what I did, I could go out there and rip on them and say the worst things. They still cheered for me. I'm like, well, this is not going the way it's supposed to. Yeah.
Like, does anybody own a toothbrush in this state?
West Virginia. Yeah, I would go after all the stereotypes, and yeah, I was like the female MJF.
That's right. Oh man, that's great. That's great. So yeah, I did get to see, y'all are doing the the WrestleCon thing. You're going to all the WrestleCons and everywhere. Like, do you have anything coming up? And like, how far have you gone for the WrestleCons? I see y'all are always everywhere.
I just got back from WrestleCade this past year. I did not perform this year because of my injury and whatnot, but I did have a table where I did signings and meet and greet and autographs and whatnot, pictures. North Carolina, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. That was WrestleCade. I have not wrestled at River City WrestleCon in Jacksonville yet. I'm hoping maybe to get booked for that this year. That would be great. But so far I've just done WrestleCade. This would be my third one that I did. So I'm and that's a blessing, because to be as green as I was when I started, to be invited to WrestleCade and then to keep getting invited back was such an honor. Like I've done things in the last 3 years that, when I was at AEW, the couple of times I worked there, one of the vets in the business, one of the females said to me, she goes, you're here and you're 6 months out of school. She goes, it took me 10 years to get a break. She goes, you're so blessed. And, I was like, wow, she's right, because this opportunity it came to me, and it's amazing. I was not expecting it, but it came to me and I embraced it. So
that's awesome. Now, do y'all have WrestleMania plans? Are you both coming up to Philly or anything? Because I know 1CW, we're doing a show on Friday, the 5th, April 5th, I think, right before over that. It's not going to be in Philly. It's like right over the bridge in Jersey, like Woodbury or something. But we got something going on up there, and I know Sean Carlson, he's booking the women's division. He said he might need a partner, for an intergender tag match, So I don't know, if y'all are coming up, you might have to get in contact, So anyway, are y'all coming up,
that would be great. I will go. Yeah.
Yes, we don't have anything planned right now. We might head down to Tampa for the Rumble. I don't know, just to get away for the weekend. Up there, Rob, I'm telling you, now that we left the cold New York, I will go back to it. Really, they better have WrestleMania in the summer and don't ever hire me in WWE, because it's cold. No,
I know, man. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is
that-
cold. Yeah, but
we'll
I
go
think
wherever. Yeah,
April it'll warm up a little bit, man. April it's
yeah.
cold for Florida, because Florida, 50 degrees is cold, 55 degrees. It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
man, I gotta get
yeah.
the
These old
fur on.
people.
I'm
I gotta
such
get
a
the.
baby now. Like it
Yeah.
goes below 70, and I'm like, I'm
Get a
freezing.
scarf.
Yeah,
Give me some mittens. Like, no, but what we do, we gotta do what you gotta do. Like you said, go wherever.
yeah. I want my resume to just explode this year. I want to get as many bookings as I can. So
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, I do want to ask, the WrestleCon stuff. Do you have any funny stories that have happened, during, your WrestleCon things? Because, yeah, you get to meet like tons of different people. Some cool people. Maybe some crazy people. People telling funny stories. Is there anything wild and crazy happen? During the cons or anything? You could share or whatever. And if you can't,
sure.
you could change your name, protect the innocent. Like on Casa, whatever. They do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. You do meet a lot of interesting people, that's for sure. People get
The Santa Claus thing in the elevator. They were like, all right, Christmas Karen. See,
Oh my
one
God,
time
yeah.
the elevator
That
doors
was the
open, like Santa
promoter's
Claus.
dad. Yeah. I mean,
What?
what I love about these wrestling events like WrestleCade and such is that everybody that goes there, no matter what they are, what they're like, whatever, like
Energy.
it's the energy, the love of wrestling is just bringing all these people together for this amazing event. And one woman did say that to me actually this year. She traveled, she went to WrestleCade. She traveled up from, I think, South Carolina. She drove up, to North Carolina, and she drove up to go. She goes, you know what? She goes, I don't care if this was in California. She goes, I will go wherever I have to go because this weekend to me is like, because it's right after Thanksgiving. She goes, this is like my holiday. This is my enjoyment. To come here and meet so many people that have this love of wrestling, it's like there's an energy. And even if they're all different types of people with different backgrounds and beliefs and whatnot, nobody cares. It doesn't even matter. Everybody just is together for the love of wrestling. So I've definitely met interesting people. They'll like kiss my hand, they'll bow, they'll do marriage proposals. I mean, I've had some interesting, I've had people make me in the video game, right? With the
Oh,
was it like
yeah, in WWE or 2K.
people have made my
Okay.
character, so I think that's pretty
Oh, that's
cool.
pretty
I mean, people have actually had to take the time to do that, so I find that very flattering. One of the girls from West Virginia posted, "We need a Karma action figure," and they're like pushing for that. So I mean, that kind of love is great. I love it, and
Look, I'm the gamer, guys, and this one's got a video game character first. I've been gaming, like you said, around 20
Yeah.
years, whatever, forever. But
Oh,
she's
no.
actually nasty at Halo now, so I got her really good. She used to not be able to play first-person shooters, so now she's missed mouse and keyboard. The controller, not so much, right? But mouse and keyboard is weird, but she's been killing it.
But yeah, interesting. I mean, yeah, interesting. Yeah, people people can be interesting. I've never had anything like crazy happen, but definitely interesting people. That's for sure. So, and they want to talk to you. They want to tell you their life story, and they're just, it's a good energy though.
There's a lot of some weird stuff. There's weird stuff too, guys.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I get more of the weird stuff in the DMs. Hence why I stopped. Like
Oh,
I took
okay,
all my
yeah.
DMs off of Facebook. Yeah, because it was out of control. So I'm like, all right, here's my email. If it's a professional booking, here it is. If not, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, I know some of the people I train with. Yeah, some of the ladies, they showed me, like, oh my God, this product is like, oh my, for real? Like, how do you say that? Like, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've had some pretty colorful things said to me in DMs that I'm like,
Some of these fans.
I know.
Lewis. First off, Karma, I'm sorry you had to. We're not all like that, Lewis. I'm sorry you had to go.
It's
But now I have Cameo too. Yeah, like
Photoshop. Remember the guy like Photoshop the Alexa Bliss all over his banner and stuff? He's like, this is my wife. Pictures with him. Just
Yeah.
crazy stuff like that's why.
well, I've had people that now that you actually triggered something, Rob. I have had people like they'll repost, which is very nice of them. They'll they'll repost like when I was on Dark or whatever, and all that stuff. And they'll say, my really good friend, my bestie. And I'm like, I've never met my cousin. I've never met these people. Like, where do they get bestie? Like, I'm very, thank you for sharing it. But the someone will be like, oh, Karma Dean? Well, yeah, on Facebook. And it's like, well, then how you calling her your bestie? Like, I don't get it. But yeah, that's probably the craziest that I have to share. Like, just referring to me as things I'm not.
But hopefully one day we get to some crazy level, Rob, and then we'll have some bodyguard with her all the time. I don't have to worry about
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But there's some people are crazy airport trying to pee, and there are people over here,
Yeah.
bothering you, getting autographs.
But yeah,
If
you
you
know,
imagine that you're just in the bathroom doing your business, somebody slides, like a pen and paper underneath the stall or something, like, you're like, yeah, hold on, man, like, come on, like,
you know,
there's
Yeah.
time and play. At least
Wash
wait for
your
me to get
hands,
out,
Well, that has happened to me in the airport. Like someone will recognize me, and I
Oh,
never mind taking a picture with a fan, or especially if it's a kid. I'm all about the kids, all about them. So I love doing that for the kids. But like, you get some of these creeps, like, oh,
you know,
Carmine. I was like,
if I ever saw both of y'all at anywhere, I would be, hey, Louis, Karma, how y'all doing? Everything great? And I'd keep
You're
on
different.
moving. And the reason, I mean, I did it with the Big Show. I met Big Show actually at the airport, LaGuardia. And I said, hey, Big Show, I'm not trying, I approached cautiously like, Big Show, I'm not trying to be a crazy fan, but I just want to thank you for all you've given us in professional wrestling. We appreciate it. I shook his hand. I went on my merry way. I did the same thing with Tommaso Ciampa and Tyler Breeze when I went to a Shine show in Queens. I said, I'm not here to be a crazy fan. I just want to thank y'all for all the good work that you keep giving us. I shook Tommaso Ciampa's hand. I couldn't shake Tyler Breeze's hand because he was all the way over there. I'm not trying to go backstage because I know my place. And I kept it moving back to my seat, and I enjoyed the show. And not to toot my own horn, but that was etiquette that I learned from my friend Chris Cartwright, who was a cameraman. And he told me, hey, just chill, be cool, shake hands, and you're good. I got invited to dinner. I don't know if you know La Rosa Negra. I'm not trying to boast, but I was surprised. The reason why I say it, because I was surprised because, she told me, hey, Remy, are you coming to the Shine show? I was stationed in Japan. I was like, I wasn't planning to, but if you'll be on the show, I'll come to support. I went, supported, and I actually networked with a couple of people because I had I just started Ringside Society as a podcast. It was 2019, and then afterwards, Rosa told me, hey, we're going to this restaurant. Would you like to come with us for dinner? I'm like, yeah, sure. It was me, her, Allison Kay, who was the NWA Women's Champion at the time, and Marty Bell, and Marty Bell's family. And they took one cab, one Uber. Rosa and I took another one. And I when I got in the cab, I said, hey, Rosa, if you don't want to talk about wrestling, I understand. We can talk about other things. I have other things that I'm into. I'm into, like I said, food. I'm into travel. I'm into photography, music. We could talk about anything else but wrestling if you want. She's like, no, it's okay. Let's talk about wrestling. So I said, okay. And, what I'm trying to get at is, I treat people like human beings. I give people their space, because when I was in the military, I worked in the medical aspect of it. I was a corpsman, which is the Navy's version of a medic. And after dealing with people, you get off work, you want to unwind. So I appreciated when people gave me that courtesy of leaving me alone. I'm on my free time. So I do that to other people as well. So that's just how I am. I let people chill because I know how tedious things can be. So, and I wish a lot more fans would do that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's
Yeah.
words right out of my mouth, Remy. Like, hopefully
They
do
would
this.
be
Like,
waiting.
that's-
Like when I filmed Dark a couple of times that I did it, like when the bus would come and take us from the host hotel to the event center, and there would be people waiting outside the hotel, like for us to get off the bus, and like we couldn't get into the hotel without them swarming us. Like, remember you were there, you saw like
Yeah.
they were
Well,
just
that's what I mean. The
yeah.
way he treats his purpose.
Yeah.
The same way I treat them is the same way Remy said. Like,
Yeah.
respect. Thank you for everything you've given to entertain us. Like,
yeah.
And that's it. Like,
I'm in the business, and I still respect, like if I see someone that's a vet, or I backstage at Dark, I didn't just go up and bother people, you know what I mean? Like I'd make an appropriate introduction as we were told to do. If you meet someone, you introduce yourself, you show respect. That's one thing. But I never bombarded anybody or bothered anybody, because I knew that, hey, they're trying to take care of their match. They got other things going on in their mind. They're not here for me. They're here to do what they got to do. So I totally understand that. And it's like you said, Remy, it's just people don't have that self-awareness, I guess,
Well, they try to like autograph John Cena. Where I'm gonna sell it, or where you steer. Remember one guy like put like 5.
Yeah, I can't tell. I went to Wale Mania last. I don't mean to digress, but I went to Wale Mania last March when WrestleMania was in LA. I saw numerous wrestlers. I saw Chris Bay. I saw the boys from Ring of Honor. It was Dalton Castle's guys. I saw Trick Williams. I saw several people there. The Renegade Twins and
Good
Hunter
friends of
Knott.
ours. Yeah, they're
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
good
The
friends of ours.
Renegade
Yeah.
Twins, Hunter Knott, and Carly Bravo
hmm
were there. And not once did I bother anybody for anything, any photo. I saw, who else did I see there? Grayson Waller. I saw that. I asked him one question, and that was if his former tag team partner got signed to WWE, what his reaction would be. That's all, because I was curious about that. And I saw Stax. I saw several people from there, Braun Strowman and all. If all I did was give a fist bump to most, and I kept it moving because I'm not gonna haggle nobody for, oh, can I get a picture with you? No, it's a social place. People are here to unwind. I'm not trying to be that guy. And plus I have a brand. So now if they do happen to find out who I am, ringside side, that's how they are. They're gonna think, and I just like keep that like that composure, and that's just me. I mean, I give people their space, and that is that. I met a lot of people out during WrestleMania week, and I didn't bother anybody out there. I think I probably got one picture with somebody, and that was it. I just leave people alone because I know how it is. That's just me, though.
hmm
Oh yeah. I love
Yeah,
it.
ain't nothing wrong with that. I know, yeah, when I go out there, like, I'm wrapping the show or whatever, I always do a thing. I always stay in the locker room, and if I haven't, done the ring earlier or whatever, I'm like, all right, I'll go start at one end, go all the way around, make sure I get everybody, talk to everybody, shake everyone's hand, like, how you doing, how's your trip, I get everybody and do my thing. You know what I mean, I always try to do that. I try not to get people twice, like, yeah, I'll be like, oh man, I got you earlier, my bad, hey, it don't matter, I'll get you
hmm
again, it's all good.
Oh yeah. It's like
So I gotta say,
family.
Lewis, man, you're talking about your video games and stuff, man. Did you hear GTA 6 is coming? Was it next
Oh
2 years or something, man? Are you pumped for it?
Of course. I mean, it's what we've all been waiting for forever. They milked me out of like 3 generations. I bought it
Oh
on
yeah,
360 and then Xbox
yeah.
One and I think PC. Like, how much
Mm,
money have they made off the shark cards? Millions of dollars.
mm.
I get it. We know it's gonna be a masterpiece. I just gotta put some stock in it and make some money off of it because we know it's gonna be the biggest video game in history. Like,
Oh
I
yeah,
gotta
oh
get
yeah,
her
yeah.
to
I believe it.
play GTA 5 because we have two TVs right next to each other. I'll show you. She's set up, but she gets bored after like a
I,
game.
I I think I have like ADHD. I cannot especially with a video game. I can't stay focused. But if it's like a shooting game like Halo, there's a lot of action going on. Like I stay with it. But when it starts together, we have a mission to do. I'm like,
You just get so bored. I think like with
like I
any
can't. Yeah.
campaigns and but it's good because like I said, I'd rather have a girl that's super fit, and keeps me on track, and a girl
Mhm.
that's just sitting eating, playing GTA, eating Cheetos and dirtying my keyboard, and just not
Yeah, there you
following her
go.
dreams and not trying to better herself, or
Yeah.
I just think
Well, he knows
everybody.
because it's funny because we're so opposite in the fact that like he's more of a night owl. Like he'll stay up later and play with this. And I'm like, I go to bed early. Like I have a nighttime routine. I get up at 5. I'll do like my hour of cardio, meditation.
Yeah.
I have like this whole yoga, like all this stuff. And I'll do my fasted cardio. By the time he's up, I'm halfway done with my day already. So, but that's the balance, and it's good. It works out well.
Mhm.
But Rob,
Yeah,
what are you
yeah, that's
playing?
all
You playing
good.
anything lately?
No, I see. I don't have the new generation yet because I haven't been like sold on the games yet. I do have my Switch. I just got the Red Dead game and
Okay,
Batman Arkham games. I'm playing them on there because I love them on the Xbox and also. I was thinking about getting the new PlayStation or Xbox because of the Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. That game. But then I heard like, it's not really that good. And then I heard they're going against Arkham Batman. I was like, no, I played 3 games with Arkham Batman. He ain't stopping him. So I don't know
I
what
love
they're gonna do
Arkham
with
Knight. I
that.
was just playing Arkham again. Just sometimes you got to feel like you gotta be Batman and just
Yeah.
do it around the city and just feel like Batman. Like I don't have Batman's money. I wish I did because maybe he could have helped more with the city and gave more of his money. Because one of my friends hates Batman for some reason.
Hmm.
But those Arkham games, just the combat is so crisp, right? Like I don't know.
That's right.
But
Now speaking of Batman, I did. I think yesterday I finally got to see the new Flash movie that just came out. and they had the old school '89 Batman in there.
Keaton, right? Yeah.
Oh, he was tearing it up in there. I was like, man, I actually enjoyed this movie. Special effects and all. I was like, but I enjoyed it. It was an okay movie.
Yeah, everyone said right. Everyone said it was so bad, it's the worst. But I enjoyed it. It was fun, and like you said, Michael Keaton, man, that's Batman. Like to me, I don't know. It's a fun movie. It's just a lot of CGI. It's a little too much sometimes.
Yeah.
She's not watching movies, guys. She's like I said, she's not sitting. Karma is not the person to sit around. Like,
No, definitely not.
give her a book and put her on the beach.
I do love to read. Yeah, you'll catch me
Okay.
reading almost all day because I just love to learn, and like I'm into like Ayurvedic medicine, for example. So I'll get all these books in Ayurvedic medicine. I'll just start reading them, and yeah, it's like I just love to learn and read. So
And me, Rob, when GTA comes out, that's it. I'm not getting out of that TV. I'll sit there 3 hours.
That's right. That's right. So how many books are you going through in a month? Like, are you above 10, 15?
probably around there. Yeah, I just got
Okay.
a bookshelf for one of my meditation room. I have a bookshelf in there, and I looked at the bookshelf. I filled it up, and then I looked at the floor and I said, "Yeah, I got a couple more piles. I might need a few more bookshelves." So I thought one would do it. No, I got a lot. The thing is, like, if it's a really, really, really good book that I'm really into, I will do a start to finish. But if it's like it's good, but then I have another book that I want to read, I'll kind of flip flop between the two books. Read a chapter in this one, read a chapter in that one, and for me, mostly it's, people say, "Oh, what do you like, science fiction or non-fiction?" I like books that teach, like I said, I'll read books on like yoga, or I'll read books on Ayurvedic medicine, or, wrestling or whatever. It's always something that's more of an educational than like a novel of some sort. So.
Yeah, well, I have the Rob's book and autographed, right? Man, when I was
That's
younger,
right.
he was the man, and when he shook my hand, his fingers went up to like my elbow. Like, this dude is a monster, but he's
Yeah.
the most humble dude like ever. So whatever he does, he's got my money no matter what. Like,
He's a great guy. Yeah.
Like, I hope I get to meet him again one day. Please.
Yeah.
Universe,
Yeah.
do some-
Never know.
Yes, like I said, guys, this year is gonna be big for everybody.
Yeah.
We're
That's
not
right.
getting GTA though, Rob. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I do got to ask, what do y'all have planned for, this new year coming up? Any big plans coming up? Any shows coming up, Raj? Recent, you got on the horizon? Anything special you got coming down the pipe you can let us know about?
The Jericho Cruise is coming, but I wasn't really trying to pay 2 G's each person. That hurts. Like,
Yeah.
that would be awesome, you know what I mean? But besides with the Rumble and with the summer,
And then February 17th was supposed to be my next match in West Virginia. That was supposed to be my ambulance match, but due to issues with securing a venue, we had to postpone it. So that show will probably happen in probably April or the beginning of May, depending on when they can secure a venue for it. But March 30th in Waldo, Florida for Knockout Wrestling, I will be facing JC Love. So I will be wrestling that day. That unless something comes up before then that I get booked for, that right now is my first match for this year.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I'm all ready for it, man. Hope you all, get ready and kick butt all year. Do your thing. You get, you can't get 1,000 more days. You can be 365 day champion after the end of this year.
That's right.
And,
Yeah.
yeah, you collect. Yeah, I'm glad. Collecting all the gold and all that good stuff there.
Oh yeah.
But,
Oh yeah.
She's trying to catch Roman.
Yeah, I know. I'm like the female tribal chief, I guess. Right?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're the tribal chief.
I'm the tribal chief. Yeah, with the ones.
Now you gotta
You
do
got all the belts. You're tag team
You gotta
champ.
do
and
it in
you got
the,
main one.
you gotta do it in the New York accent, man. Hey, when you come out to New York, like, hey yo, New York, y'all dead ass acknowledge me, yo.
That's right. That's right.
With the Timbs.
With the yeah, exactly.
That's right. That's all.
Got to keep it New York. Yep.
There you go. Now, before I, pass it on to Remy, I do want to say, thank you, Go, for, coming on and chatting with us and all. And I had a blast. It's always a blast getting to hear from y'all and see what y'all are doing. I wish y'all nothing but the best. I hope you get to, kick butt and do whatever you need to do this year for all your dreams and all that good stuff. I wish nothing but positive vibes for you all, your family, friends, and all that good stuff.
Thank you so much, Rob. You're the best. Thank you.
Rob.
Karma, Lewis, it was great to have y'all back on here. Once again, Karma, I'm glad you're recovered, you're well. Lewis, I'm looking forward to seeing you level up this year, brother. I'm looking forward to seeing all them flips, man. I know you're gonna make it happen like a captain. You know, we here at Ringside Society, we're all for it, man. But you know, I wish to y'all nothing but the best. You know, in your life, in your wrestling career, all that good stuff. I hope y'all get to travel to a lot of places together. You know, Rob, 1CW, bro. I'm telling you, man, tag team right here, man. I mean, you could talk to Carlson, make it happen, man. You know, I'm just saying. But you know, I wish y'all nothing. I wish y'all nothing but. Sorry, go ahead.
No. You're good. I like Delaware. You got no state tax, right?
Yeah, no sales tax. Yeah, man, we're good.
No sales tax. Okay.
If a bag of chips costs 99 cents, you give them $1 and you get a penny back.
There you go.
That should be.
Yep.
All over.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you guys are amazing, and we can't thank you enough for giving us this platform to talk and to you know.
That's why
I always say my story is someone else's survival guide. So
that's why we're here. Just like I said, we're not looking for clout. We're not looking for. You know, I had a saying that I had on a T-shirt. I forgot which T-shirt it was, but it said, "It's not a race for popularity and recognition. It's a marathon for respect." And I believe I forgot, it was a shirt I had a long time ago, but it pretty much says it's not a race for popularity and recognition. It's a marathon for respect, for respectability and excellence. And you know, that's what we're here. That's what we are. We're running a marathon. We're not trying to get no big recognition. We're just, if anybody gets recognition, it's y'all. Me, I'm just the person that's just here, you know. So, and Rob too. So, like I said, like we said in our intro, it's not about us, but we have a special guest tonight. So that's the one thing that we live by. So thank y'all for, you know, giving us another chance to interview you as a couple this time. We really and truly appreciate it. We wish y'all nothing but the best, and we look forward to seeing y'all, you know, do the damn thing this year as well. Before we shut this show down, where can fans find y'all on social media when they want to purchase merchandise? You know, Karma Dean and Lewis Devils merchandise, or Level of Principles merchandise, as I call it. And you know, where can books and promoters find y'all when they want to book you for their shows?
Okay, so my Instagram is Real Karma Dean, so you can find me on Instagram. I do have a Facebook fan page under Karma Dean. People can just Google Karma Dean, my fan page will pop right up. Also on Cameo for fans to talk to me and connect with me. I do have a YouTube page where people can see all my matches, again, under Karma Dean, Real Karma Dean, I believe it is. And then what else do I have? I have Twitter too, Principle of Karma. I don't use it as much as I use the other social media.
We
but
might start her OnlyFans maybe, but no nudity, right? None of that, because Karma, like I said, there's levels to this. There's gonna be, so they can search
I feel like it's a way to connect with my fans, but in a professional way. Like I want it to, because I'm such a role model to so many young women. I want to maintain that professionalism and that appearance. So
and not knocking any girls or guys.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. Yeah.
Make your money. You know?
Of course, yeah. Just me individually. That's what I have to offer out there. So. But yeah, find me Instagram, Facebook, any social platform. I'm pretty much on under Karma Dean. Yeah.
And mine's just Lewis631, I think, on Instagram. That's all I have. You know.
He's a pretty cool dude. Check him out.
Yeah, but you know.
Under construction.
Yeah, y'all check them both out, man. You know, young girls. You know, Karma's a performer. She's an actress. She's done. I believe you've done Broadway. Y'all check her out. You know, Lewis is a gamer. If you're a gamer, hey, check him out. You know, hit that follow. And, you know, support indie wrestling. It's a great thing. That way, when you see, you know, Lewis Levels and Karma Dean, they hit the big time. They're in AEW fighting another couple. What's another couple? Jungle Boy and Anna Jay. Or they go to WWE and they chop it up against, you know, Seth Rollins and Bianca. And you got some jabroni going, oh, I got to do Lewis Levels and Karma Dean shirt. You can be like, man, sit yourself down, man. I got their shirt for when they was on the indies. I'm a real fan. You know what I'm saying?
It's always
great.
Yeah.
It's always great to see.
I like that hair versus hair match.
There you go. So,
the best. Seriously, thank you for giving us.
Thank you so much, and for giving all wrestlers a platform to come, you know, to come on your show and to speak. I think what you guys do is great, and you know, at the end of the day, everybody in this business has my respect because we're all in it for this love of the business. So
yeah. We even had Paul Espinal on here too. We were like, I was like, who's our referee? Oh, that's Paul. We want him on the show. Yeah. So that's how we do, you know.
I love Paul. He's a great guy. He's just pure. Love that guy. Just pure, genuine guy.
So with that being said, my eyelids are getting heavy. For those of y'all watching, my stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner.
You gotta eat.
Yeah, that means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order, but before I partake in those activities, Rob Bass, the Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover, the Sean Spence to my Burton Guster, and the Murtaugh to Ricks to my Murtaugh. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out where next appearances, purchase Rob Bass merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rob_Bass82, Facebook Rob Bass. This Saturday, 1CW, we're going to be in Houston, Delaware. First show event of the year. Doors open at 5. Bell time is at 6. The 3-match we have Miles Millennium. You know, he's going up against Ranchan Carlson. I think Chris Wilde is having a rematch with Ty Awesome for the 1CW Pro Heavy Wrestling Championship. We also have the 1CW Women's Championship on the line in a street fight. We have the Horribles versus the Reality Area for the tag team match, last team standing. We have all kinds of stuff going on down that Saturday, so definitely check it out. You can catch us every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. on the Delmarva Sports Network if you're in the area, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia area. If not, you can go to delmarvasportsnetwork.com. You can download the app or whatever. You can catch the show that way. You can catch all past shows or whatever. You might see me getting beat up or whatever and all that good stuff. So, hey, definitely check it out. We got all y'all covered. So, check it out.
Rob, I told you, stop getting involved with those matches, man. We don't, you're costing us money. We already still have to pay your dog for the 2 appearances she made, man. You're killing us, bro. But if you want to find me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool things, but I do go to a couple of cool places. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TheRemyBlue. As a matter of fact, I'll be going to hopefully London in a couple of weeks. So I'll have some videos for y'all to see. And like I said, check it out. I don't do that for clout either. I just do that to give y'all a guide as to what to check out in whatever city I'm in, like the Ghirardelli ice cream place in San Diego, or as Lewis mentioned, Tipsy Bartender in New York City. I give y'all cool places like that. That's for y'all. It's not just for me. So definitely go ahead and hit me, shoot me a follow at TheRemyBlue, Twitter and Instagram. And I'm also on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue as well. Our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society, Twitch at Ringside Society 2019. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group, and we're also on Spotify. Teespring is where you can find our official Ringside Society merchandise. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where you can see cool interviews like this one, like the one we had with Sam and Val, the other couple that we had, many people, Diamond Sheik, Renegade Twins, TSF, so many great men and women, not just from the Nightmare Factory, but all over the world of pro wrestling you can find on YouTube. And all you got to do is just a simple step. Go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society. Once you see that really good looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it, that's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. And as a matter of fact, I'm feeling so happy right now. I'm going to tell y'all right now, tomorrow I'm actually going to be doing my predictions for TNA Hard to Kill. I'll be doing that as well. So stay tuned for that as well. But until then, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. We really and truly appreciate it. We strive on being the best, one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could, should, and would listen to, and we're not going to stop doing that. To those of you that are listening later on, you get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral and Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, we're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well and aware that everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. # we are not the same. Hey, Rob Bass, One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for the Nightmare Factory Camp 2, and one time for Level of Principle, Karma Dean, and Lewis Levels.
Woo!
What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fast Podcast, Ringside Society. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock p.m., 6 o'clock p.m. for all my West Coast riders with another impressive episode. But until then, we just have 4 favors for y'all. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and enjoy wrestling. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Bye.
See ya.